My name is Ndume Green. I am a Nigerian journalist. For decades, tension between Ghanaians and Nigerians have always risen to a high point, leading to the destruction of many shops owned by Nigerians in many Ghanaian cities.
You can do whatever you have here in your country. But mind you that you people, some of your people is in my country.
These Ghanaian attackers claim Nigerians have entered into their marketplaces to carry out petty trading against local regulations.
Bring that knife, bring it. Your brother said he will kill my brother. You are the one that is supporting him. You are the one supporting him. Why do you want to spoil my phone?
Me did maybe some sponsor. Me took on me yard more mazin. Me name Emeka. Emeka na ye edwuma. E o mazin. E bro mo ba shop on. Na me ti kokoma me no mo buy. So mo buy na police for ni soldiers nipa bibre ka ho. So I'm buying almost in PMF store. See, now they are meant to do more than I say. So I'm going to say, and PA. Me PA now, or maybe some say, many one in the edge, man. I'm saying, many a mecca and a edge, man. I'll be some say, a juma, maybe no more, no one. I'm saying, I'll boy me. The master no boy me pa. Master no boy me. Me can't so more me and I'm boy. Because me ne Ghana for binu me ye juma or Ghana hanum. The way almost treat him, you know. I am a de. O man treat me good, and so me name master way ebe ye juma no. Even po me nyem po. Otimi boa me. Enya masters nyina na etimi kura na omo ye adwuma anyema ombefa wo se me ne wo ye adwuma enso me master we die opo bibia menyem oje me ne metina na shop ho sa kopim 8 months a me be free shop ho ena wo ja me kwan e ba me kotena afie kakra ama me de kwa wo ye me wo ya me ba ye so me di be 5 months with you. Now they to 2 months for an store or person store crown or me year.
But the Nigerians are holding on to an ECOWAS treaty that permits all ECOWAS citizens to enter, reside, and establish in member states.
ECOWAS protocol allows citizens of member states to visit, travel to the member countries, reside there, and then engage in business or any other profession. It is very clear in the ECOWAS protocol. You can move in there, set up businesses or any vocation, and then you can reside. This is what the ECOWAS protocol is all about. It's about integrating the community into one. And that is what brought about the issuance of one passport, which we call ECOWAS passport. And so that is what the ECOWAS protocol is calling for. But on the other hand, you have the national laws. Each country has its constitution and the laws. And for instance, in the case of Ghana, they have the Act, GIPC Act 478 or 473, I've forgotten, which, did not take into account the ECOWAS protocol, And so you see in the situation where in Ghana, you have the citizens and foreigners. Meanwhile, Ghana as a country belongs to ECOWAS. So there's a conflict here between the national laws and what the ECOWAS protocol, of which Ghana is an active member.
The trade conflict between Nigerians and Ghanaians in Ghana is something that occurs almost every year. In the last 10 years, I have carried out a rigorous research on the Ghana-Nigeria relationship spanning over 4 centuries and more. The signs of this contact remain dotted all over both countries till today. For example, there are stories that some tribes in Ghana, like the Gans, migrated from Ile-Ife, an ancient Yoruba town in southwest Nigeria. A narrative widely believed by a large section of the Ghana people who even in recent times have visited Nigeria to pay allegiance to the Oni of Ife.
You cannot have a life if you don't have a home. Now that I'm here to connect with the source, I believe.
Loaded quarters. It is still there in Ife. We didn't change the name. We didn't change the same way, the same mannerism. The people that are still there, you will feel that radiation of your blood. They are still intact. I want to tell you today that you're welcome home.
Yeah, the Gans of Laboni, for example, call themselves Bonnie. You see, like in they believe they move from Edo area. You know, Edo, as in Nigeria is now, they call them Benin people or Benin Republic. They come from that particular area, and so they believe that they come from Bonny area in Edo kingdom in the past. And you know, the Edo kingdom has historical connection with the Yoruba kingdom. I have read a lot of Nigerian history, and I know how they narrate the history of how the Edo prince left from the Ile-Ife to the Edo area, a kingdom they used to call Igodo, which is the Edo kingdom you know today. So for the for the Gans of Laboni, they believe they came from that particular area to stay in Ghana, and they are part of the Gan people. Okay, the Gan people in general, their migratory pattern shows that they came from Oyo Kingdom, and they don't miss word about it that their origin is from the Oyo Kingdom. Except that sometimes you have these Egyptologists who argue further that they move all the way from Israel, pass through Egypt, and then they pass through Ile-Ife, and then they move on to Ghana as it is. So every Ghanaian, when he asks him, he will tell you, I originated from Yoruba Kingdom.
Even at the moment, the special advisor on economic affairs, Dr. Alolo, is there with Dr. Baumia. He's a Yoruba front and back. Dr. Alolo. All these Chinese loans, he is the one drafting everything. There was an IGP, who should have been the Inspector General of Police, but the law does not allow somebody who's a little not that background. Prince Oyebisi, he became the Deputy IGP. He would have been the IGP. He is the first Commandant of Ghana Police. Talk about Sonny Thomas, a distinguished soldier. You know, talk about Dr. Garba. He was the last High Commissioner for Canada. He told us last week in Tamale that when they were in school and they finished the secondary school, he and John Mama, they went to Nigeria to seek admission at Lagos University. So when they went, they asked them, yes, you are from where? And he said, oh, I'm from Ogbomoso. He said, okay. John Mama, you are from where? He said, from Lagos. Okay, we will accept your this thing, but go and bring your tax clearance certificate from your parents. He said that is where both of them they fail, because he is an Ogbomoso man, he doesn't know anybody to go. He has not been going there. Neither John Mama, his stepfather is a Yoruba, his stepmother is a Yoruba.
A Nigerian event in the Ghanaian capital, Accra. Speculative figures put the current number of Nigerians in Ghana above 1 million. Ghana had rode to freedom in 1957 on the back of what was a tumultuous freedom campaign led by Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah.
There is a new African in the world. That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs.
At independence, Nkrumah had operated an open-door policy, making Africa the centerpiece of Ghana's foreign policy. Africans from all colonies shared between France and Britain all found a home in Ghana, especially in its capital, Accra. This population was dominated by Nigerians.
Nkrumah, as we know him, is a Pan-Africanist, and his Pan-Africanism consciousness developed while he was a student in Lincoln. And as you know, one of the people that had influence on Nkrumah going to Lincoln University in the United States was Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. As we know, Azikiwe came to Gold Coast in the 1930s, and he was the editor of a newspaper called West African Pilot. With this newspaper, or African Morning Post, that was the newspaper's name. And in this newspaper, Azikiwe actually influenced Gold Coast political consciousness, especially the young students who were in secondary schools, and also the returned Gold Coast diasporans who have come to fight for nationalism. So as a result, Nkrumah was also informed by Azikiwe's knowledge and consciousness about America. So Nkrumah went to Lincoln to study, and there he was also chanced to experience the Calabar activities, the racism, the apartheid of a sort in the US. So as a result, Nkrumah had to even move to UK to come for his law degree and even PhD. So what happened was that Nkrumah got that opportunity in UK to be part that organized what is called the Pan-African Congress, the fifth one, also known as the Manchester Congress. He was there, and he was with many other people who came there to join to help for that particular Manchester conference to come into fruition.
Within the 15th and the 16th century, traders from mainly northern Nigeria had already established contact with the Akan tribe in Ghana to buy gold.
I'm right here at the Manche Palace Museum. This is actually the first place where the first king of the Ashanti Kingdom lived. This place plays a significant role in the first recorded history between Nigeria and Ghana. In 1873, when the Ashanti Kingdom had fought hardly against the British colonial rule in Ghana, it was the Global Hausas that the colonial government mobilized from Nigeria, known as the Hausa militia, to join them to be able to defeat the Ashanti Kingdom. It was difficult for them to have done so without that mobilization.
So when we talk about the Hausa Fulani that come to Gold Coast, as I told you earlier, there was a trade which spanned from the 1700s, where the Hausa Fulani traders were trading in Colonial from Kano to Salaga. Salaga is in the northern part of Ghana, and that is where the Colonial trade was. So the Hausa traders come all the way from that place. Now, when Asantis conquered the northern territories around 1750s, some of the Hausa traders and scholars who were trading there were captured, and they were brought to the Asante-Hene's palace. And some of them became the scholars that were writing Asante-Hene's household history. So if you go back to history, even before the British brought the Hausa soldiers to come and fight from Nigeria, to come and fight in the 1824 Battle of Akatamanso, that is where they came in to fight. So they came to fight in 1824 for the British and other southern Akan states who fought against the Ashantis in 1826. In that fight, the Ashantis were defeated. And so the Hausas who were there, some of them were made to stay in Cape Coast originally. So they stayed in Cape Coast in Central Region, where they were made to be used to start what is called the Gold Coast Constabulary. That is the police. So the Gold Coast Police apparently was started with the House of Fulani warriors that came to fight for the British.
And the Yoruba started coming to Ghana, to Gold Coast, well over 200 years ago. There is a history that there was a time when the Ashantis even go for the Yorubas to come and help them to defend them during some wars. That is the Oyo Consuetary, the Oyos, the mercenaries from Oyos. But coming down here now, it became official when the British came down to Gold Coast, and they wanted to build some castles and forts and do some other things. They realized that the natives are not willing. They are not cooperative. Every day there's one excuse to the other. So decided to go to Nigeria to recruit labor from Nigeria. So they went and recruited the labor from the Nigeria. It's well over 100 years ago. When, at that time, like I said, the only means of travel is either you walk on foot or by ship. Those days, ship is the transport, the safest way that you can and move a lot of people. We have so many ships, some of which is Oreo, some is SS Apapa, and the famous SS Alata. Now, when the people were recruited, they were full on the ship. So the colonial masters thought that no, it will not be easy to habitate all of them at one place. So they dropped some at Pram, dropped some Yorubas at Pram. They came again. When they got to Osu, they dropped some there. Then they came to English, Alata, Jamestown, and dropped the bulk of them there.
November 1969 ushered in the first major flashpoints of a sagging relationship between both Ghana and Nigeria in recent history, egged by the huge presence of foreigners in Ghana, mostly Nigerians, a direct opposite of Kwame Nkrumah's policy that made Ghana home for all Africans when Ghana gained independence in 1957. Ghana's then Prime Minister Kofi Abrefa-Busia enforced the Aliens Compliance Order 6 weeks just after being in power.
By the time of the Aliens Compliance Order, I was actually in Kumasi. And what I remember was that, when the compliance order was given by the Busia government, everybody was saying that they say Nigerians should leave. They say Nigerians should leave. So everybody was running helter-skelter. People were selling their properties, buildings, and running to Nigeria. I was then a student. I think I was in my first year or second year at Legon. So we used to come to where we were around 37 area as people were moving, heading towards the border, Aflao, to continue their journey to. But one thing I've always said was that it was out of fear that our people started moving. Because they said Aliens Compliance Order, if you don't have a resident permit, go for one, regularize your stay. But our people didn't understand. They didn't know how to go about all these things. And the fear that something might happen for so many of our people to leave unceremoniously for Nigeria.
I will recall this thing when Busia came. It happened during the Ramadan. We started the fasting about 10 or so and said, this is Radio Ghana. Since that time, I've memorized the thing and it's my head. Say Ghana Munti, those days is Ghana Munti, Ghana Munti. Then say bang, 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 bang. This is Radio Ghana. The time is 6 o'clock. That was what was reading that day. The wording was that it has come to the notice of Ghana government. It has come to the notice of Ghana government that a lot of aliens are living in the country without the requisite papers. So the government is hereby giving all those people 2 weeks to regularize their papers, their documents. Else, they have to leave the country. That is the wedding. They didn't say pick your bag and tomorrow go. No.
The Aliens Compliance Order Act was a big blow to Nigeria, especially as it took place at a time when Nigeria was deeply knitted in a bloody civil war that began in 1967 after a failed attempt to prevent the war took place in Eburi, Ghana between the 4th and the 5th of January 1967.
Prior to that, under the Nkrumah's regime, though Nkrumah was for continental Africa and invited most African people to come in, the first time we have an issue of even a deportation order was what we called Alien Deportation Act under Nkrumah. Okay, this was around 1958, where certain foreign elements in the country became opposition elements, and they were financing opposition parties. So Nkrumah came out with alien deportation order, and the first people that affected were some of the northern Hausa people who have come to stay in Ghana. So there was a party called Muslim Association Party, MAP, and one of the leaders was Alhaji Baba and Otman and Co. Those were the first people that alien compliance order affected, and they were deported. They were not in masses. Alien Deportation Act affected. They were not in masses. There were about 3 or 4 of them. Okay, and there were some few Syrians and what have you who also got what deported.
In late January 1983, in what looked like a retaliation following a deeply troubled Nigerian economy and elections coming up that year, the Nigerian government under President Shehu Shagari, who has a street named after him in Ghana today, announced the expulsion of illegal immigrants from Nigeria. Nigeria's oil boom in the 70s had made the country attractive to many foreign nationals, mostly Ghanaians, running from the economic turmoil and drought that ravaged Ghana as at then. Nigerian politicians had hoped the expulsion would prove popular and solidify their chances of remaining in power. But not all Ghanaians left, and some, like Maurice Boha from the Volta region of Ghana, have gone on to build a fulfilling life in Nigeria, owning one of the most popular schools in the heart of Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos, here in Surulere.
I'm a Ghanaian by birth, and I live in Nigeria here. I've been living here for many years, and I don't think I feel like a stranger, like a foreigner as at today. I feel free. I'm doing my business. I have friends here more than I do have in Ghana. So I take myself as one of the numerous Nigerians we have here. I've been here for 38 years now. I came to Nigeria in 1980. In fact, you stayed in somebody's country for 38 years. What are the adverse things you want to say about the people and the country as a whole? You eat their food? Are you not part of them?
Well, Nigeria here, there's a big market here, so anything that you are doing, you'll get customers. And since I've been to this place, for work, I never lack of work. I always customers at my neck. That is the work aspect of it. And movements too. So far as you are not looking for any trouble, it's a free movement.
So I'm here at the Kane village in Maryland, where 60% of the craftsmen here are mostly Ghanaians who are into this cane chair craft work. Most of them have been here for over 3 decades. Some of them, business have been really good for them, but for some, like Mr. Pobi here, who says he's from the eastern region, he wishes to actually go back home. He feels he has been here enough and wants to go back home, but then he has not saved enough money to enable him leave. This is actually the story here.
I come from Ghana. My village is Enyiresi, Achim Enyiresi. I stay here in Nigeria almost 30 years for Nigeria here. Nothing bad for me. They know they do me bad because I know they go in the work anyhow. If they work anyhow, now you go get problem. If you know what anyhow, you go get problem. You stay the place where you dey. Now before the immigration, now they worry us. Since Buhari come, the immigration don't stop. The business is good, but if you don't get money, you don't go see money. If you get money, do and down. When the Christmas time, you sell out, you get your money. But now, as after Christmas, the basket dey cheap. After Christmas, the basket dey cheap for here.
We are preparing so quickly to come home because now Nigeria is growing high every day by day. So we dey here so long, we know how it is when you come meet, and now you see how things dey go. Everybody might bore him to return back to home. For my true opinion, I'm back to home. I'm ready to back to home. But many people are say that they are, when they have any convenient things where their heart desire, they go back to home.
I must say to Ghanaians back home, if you dey Ghana, say you want come here, I no go advise you to make you come. No try, say you come here, but now we are no good that before. Now transport safe. Before from Ghana to here, 25,000 naira. To come here, go back 25,000 naira. If you come here, we no get hand work, make you no come. Say one come here travel, come Nigeria, say one come find work, you work no day. Make you no come, let's get hand work. Like our own. Immediately reach here today, tomorrow, you go see work to do. That is my own. But if no, so no get hand work, no try to come Nigeria. Now Nigeria no be like it before. Before if you come, you will see work. For construction work, shoemaker, everything. Now you know they again.
No, I came here with hustle. I know can't feel as, even though I know that the home is not better as I want. That's why I'm traveling. But I tried so a lot of in some years. What I'm searching for, I still never get it. So I used to say that I think that I want to damage the body or something like that. So the electric power will remain me. I need to take and return home.
Yes, now. I feel home, but to go, no day easy. I feel home. As I day yourself, I'm supposed to go, but to go, no day easy. To go, because if you no have money, you can't go.
Relations between the two countries have since improved tremendously, but not without recurring flashpoints of conflict, especially on local trade.
We are live here at the ECOWAS headquarters in Abuja, where hundreds of Nigerians from Ghana have gathered at the ECOWAS Secretariat to protest against the indiscriminate blocking of shops owned by Nigerians in Ghana. This abuse has been on for a couple of times, including a case of a suicide by one of the shop owners, a woman, 6 days ago.
Security and peace, because there are Ghanaians living and scattered all over ECOWAS member states. Nobody is harassing them, nobody is molesting them, and yet this is the situation.
I don't know where you're we are calling them, I'm free Nigeria. No more call Ghana, no more fire there. Don't know where you're when Nigeria women there, we are very hard working. We are to make we are free. The car free man, and I'm calling them out. They are getting
There's nothing to be gained by having 5 million traders here, because even if you come here, what can we do? What I think we can do going forward is to ask for an emergency meeting between Ghana and Nigeria, at which the other ECOWAS ministers will be present. Because if you look at ECOWAS's history, we've been able to solve our problems internally. So, give me a bit of time. You've brought this matter to me and I take it very seriously. That's why I decided to come down in all humility to talk to you. I did not want to sit in my office and just receive it. So please, I want you to calm down. I want you to respect law and order in the Republic of Ghana. I do not want you to take the law in your own hands. And this discussion that we're prepared to die, no. The Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the giver of life. It is not for us to take our own lives or say that we're prepared to die. So please, I'm begging you, okay?
Their shops had been locked down by Ghanaian authorities, especially members of the Ghana Union of Traders, in execution of the provisions of a controversial 2013 Ghana Investment Promotion Law that states the following in Section 27 and Section 28 of the GIPC Act. Nigerians have, however, demanded exemption from the said law, saying it contravenes provisions of the ECOWAS Treaty that guarantees citizens of member states to enter, reside, and establish within the region and enjoyed by Ghanaians in Nigeria. Nigeria's commercial capital of Lagos has the highest number of Ghanaian population in Nigeria. Unconfirmed sources say there could be 500,000 Ghanaians living in Lagos alone. Port Harcourt is Nigeria's oil capital, located in the oil-rich Niger Delta. Kofi Bartels is a Ghanaian and is one of the most renowned radio presenters in the country.
Nigerians are amongst the most hardworking and enterprising people in the world. Nigerians are very full of life. And I think as an individual, I'm lucky to be in this country because I can embody the best of both worlds. The calculation of the Ghanaians, the organization of the Ghanaians, the straightforwardness of the Ghanaians, with the hustle spirit of the Nigerians, the hardworking, never say die, fearless, spirit of the Nigerians, and I think I embody that.
Richard Owusu is the utility manager of Delta Career College, one of the oldest and biggest private schools in Nigeria. He has lived in Nigeria for close to 2 decades.
They say Nigerians are not good, but if you will never do anything wrong to anybody, nobody will harm you, except you mix yourself with the other people or you want to do bad. But apart from that, I never see any wrong thing in Nigeria here, even since how many years I'm in Warri here. I came down from Ghana straight to Warri. And I've been here so many years, I never hear any or encounter any problem.
But back in Ghana and here in Kumasi, the onslaught against Nigerian traders continues. Some Nigerian shops have been locked down in Ghana for more than 10 years now without opening, while many of these traders have since returned home to Nigeria to start afresh. Many have remained within the shores of Ghana, languishing in penury. A few others have died in the process of waiting for their shops to be reopened by the Ghanaian authorities. This is another market popularly known as the Magazine Market. I'm standing here with Chikujeku from Anambra State, whose shop is actually backing us here. He tells me that the shop has been locked down for 3 months now, and he's been jobless. In fact, he's had to survive on daily contribution from brothers to afford to give him food. This is the Magazine Market, which is the heart of the whole crisis that is facing Nigerian traders in Ghana. So tell us what's actually happening and how long has this happened?
Okay, this started about 3 months ago. They started by bringing tarts. They start chasing out away from the store. If your shop is open, they come and chase you away and lock it. So from then, they bring out government officials. They inspect your book. If your book is okay, they will lock it. If it's not okay, they will still lock it. They start on throwing the government to force the government to lock it, whether your book is okay or not.
Do you have all the documents to open a shop here?
Yes, I have my documents.
So this is also another shop belonging to a Nigerian that has been locked down for 2 months. This has not been open. We've visited over 10 shops so far that were locked up simultaneously. All of them have not been open. They tell me they actually have been steps made by them to intervene for this place to be open, but that step is yet to yield any result. We've been taking around the market to see whether or not we could see if any of the shops have been open, to no avail.